have a very large white-tailed deer population. I mentioned that when I talked about the Native Americans. They used to hunt the deer. Now, there is no hunting allowed on this island. There hasn't been for a long, long time. In addition to the deer, we have several families of black bear on the island. As a matter of fact, last year was the first time ever that the park actually issued a black bear advisory. We have a lot of coyotes. I live down a dirt road. I'm surrounded by woods. And on most nights, I hear the coyotes singing back and forth. We have all the small mammals you might expect. The beaver and the porcupine. We have otters. We have bobcat sightings pretty regularly. So we do have some bobcat. In addition to the mammals, this island is one of the foremost nesting places for many birds and raptors, including the American bald eagle. This is the single foremost nesting place for the American bald eagle on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Now, when we leave Sur de Mont Springs, we will stop at an active beaver pond for a few minutes. We were there a couple of days ago, and there was an eagle perched on one of the beaver lodges. And it hung out and posed for us the whole time the bus was there. If we are going to see some wildlife like deer from this bus, this is the most likely area that we would, between here and Sur de Mont. Now, for the most part, the animals within the borders of the park are left alone, but there are instances where sometimes they have to be relocated. When we go into Sur de Mont, there's an old beaver area there. That family of beaver were relocated because the dam that they built was threatening to flood the access road to Sur de Mont. Several years ago, there was a fox that was relocated. The fox was working the Park Loop Road, mostly at night. If it saw headlights coming down the road, it would sit by the side of the road. If the car stopped, it would beg. I'm a musician. Several years ago, when this was going on, I decided to drive home through the park. Sure enough, it saw my headlights and came and sat by the side of the road. That fox was relocated. The rangers did not think that was such a great thing. And I'm sure the fox was quite angry because that was the end of his supply of Cheetos.
Are you relocating deer?
Deer are generally not relocated, but when the population gets out of hand every several years, the rangers will go into the park and thin the herd.
They don't let people?
No, there's no hunting allowed on the island.
How do they?
They park rangers. They're in the park. They can do whatever they want. There's no hunting allowed on the island except for when the rangers go into the park to thin the herd. So let me put that caveat on there. The beaver at Sur de Mont were relocated. That fox was relocated. Not that I know of. It's pretty rare that the rangers will actually relocate animals. The only time they do that is when there's a problem. If you look to the right, there's a beaver dam right there, as a matter of fact. Now, I know several people that have been relocated by angry neighbors. So when we get to